Did you guys hear the crazy news where a psychic dwarf escaped from jail? The headline said that a small medium was at large. What's going on, YouTube? It's the weekend, which means we got to talk about our two golden vendors. We are inside the Hollow City, inside of Cold Harbor, to go over the first vendor, which is Zanil. And the reason we start with him is he's got furnishing items that are on a nice little bit of a loop that sometimes might not be seen for years afterwards. You guys can use these for yourself. You guys can sell these on for a profit. The most profit's going to be on PC because the profit margins are higher due to inflation. If you had to purchase items that are listed here today, what would be the best ones? Well, I would say don't sleep on this hammer. So as someone who has had to decorate weapon racks, there's really not a whole lot of sellable weapons to put on them, and these things look great on those. This is an amazing light. It does not produce a lot of light, but it does look good for its price point. Another interactable item. You guys know how I love interactable items. The orrery is probably not good enough for its value. The dwarven cube, based on being an interactable item, is also a really good pickup. You've got this beautiful schematic for 8K. The legs are probably nothing really to write home about. But then you've got another urn that's also interactable. And these items usually sell well in the market because people love interactable items. They love lights, they love things that do things, and they love cheap decorative items, which these are also really good. So overall, furnishing vendors, probably 8 out of 10. Before we jump into the second vendor here, which is going to be inside your Cyrodiil campaign, just a quick reminder that we are on the road to 17,000 subscribers. It would mean the world to me if we could hit 20,000 by the end of the year. I'm going to think of some crazy reward. So if you guys have something that you want to see or you want me to do, granted, I'd probably do it without any sort of criteria being met, but if you have some crazy cool idea for what we should do when we get to these big milestones, let me know in the comments below. But let's jump into the next golden. First up, we have an overland set from Arteron, which has been around since the beginning of ESO. When you use a light attack, you reduce the health, magicka, or stamina cost of your next ability cast within 2 seconds by 10%. When you use a fully charged heavy attack, you gain Empower for 3 seconds, increases the damage of your heavy attacks against monsters by 70%. Elegant is one of those sets that I feel like is almost good on some sort of heavy attack build. But the problem with heavy attack builds, a couple problems with them. One, the developers, I don't think like them a whole lot. I don't think they want you to be able to just heavy attack to parse for crazy high numbers. And they want to reward more skillful gameplay. Not taking a stance on that, not taking a stance at all on it, but it makes it hard to suggest it. Plus, too, you could definitely purple this set out for almost nothing, especially because this set is, nobody's really expecting to make a huge profit on it. So if you really wanted to try out this set with a heavy attack build, go ahead and purchase it on the open market and don't get it from the golden vendor. Next up, we have another complicated thing here, and this is going to come from the dungeon Coral Eyrie, so it's a bit of a newer one. When you deal critical damage, you or an ally can activate the Griffin's Reprisal on the enemy within the next 8 seconds, causing a small griffin to fly down and deal 16,446 bleed damage over 10 seconds to the enemies within 5 meters. This can occur every 20 seconds, and this will scale off whatever's higher your weapon or spell damage. This number is probably going to be even higher. This set, I feel as though, could have some really good PvP utilization, but it's got one big problem with it, and that is that anyone can activate the synergy, which means that the timing will not be up to you. It will be up to everyone around you. So while I think this set is exceptionally cool, and I think the effect is beautiful, it's hard to suggest something, especially when it's got a niche PvP utilization at best. It's beautiful, but if you're really wanting something like this, it might actually be better to just farm Coral Eyrie and see if you really like it versus getting it golded out. But I do think it's a very cool effect, and I do like these cooler, more niche build videos that kind of really go over some sets that are really unique, and this is definitely one of them. Another very cool set comes to us from the Blessed Crucible, which means it's not going to be sellable. For those of you who don't know, any dungeon set that you're not going to be able to resell, only those from an overland, which so far, unfortunately, has not been very good. But when you block, you gain a stack of Nicholas Resolve for 5 seconds, up to once every half second. After 8 stacks, you consume the Resolve and deflect the next direct damaging attack against you within 5 seconds, avoiding it completely. It's okay. I mean, unfortunately, this is very specific to direct damage, which means that you're not going to be able to reflect other types of damage. And the cooldown is, I just don't see this being a good set. Ironically, if you're looking to make some weird block tank, Radiant Bastion, which is literally the next set that we're going to talk about, is like infinitely better at doing that. And that's not even something I would necessarily recommend, but I would not suggest the Ring of Nicholas. But the Ring of Radiant Bastion, though, different story. Radiant Bastion, though, is it actually good? No. Is it funny? Yes. Let me tell you a story about, there was this patch many moons ago where everyone was running Zons and Battlegrounds, and I paired this with the Harbinger set, and probably something that just gave me straight health on my head, like, I don't know, probably like one piece Stone Keepers, and then, another piece of, something that gave me more health on my shoulders. And you could get people to kill themselves with their own Zons proc. It was hilarious. Is this good? Is this something I would suggest? It comes from the Reach. You could resell it. No, not something you're going to want to sell. But it is funny, and it's, an interesting concept to get to just block, and then as people attack you, they kill themselves. And a lot of times it makes them very confused because they don't understand what's happening. So if you want to befuddle people as your main tactic against them, this is the set to do it. I just don't know if I'd buy it with your golden vendor money. You could go out and buy this in purple, and a lot of people do. This is actually a set that you can sell pretty regularly on the open market, because people, I think, look at it and go, I wonder if I combine this with this, how this would go. So if you're interested in testing that out, go for it. A set, though, that I can easily suggest to you guys, it comes from Spindle Clutch 1. And it's the Shoulders, which means you don't have to waste any keys on it. It's one of the best in slot monster sets for its entire lifetime. There was a time where everybody, tanks, healers, DPS, all wore Bloodspawn. It was an incredible time. Everyone could farm the easiest dungeon in existence and have one of the best monster sets in the game. It was a time before people had to do hard content. It was such a happy time. You didn't have to worry about things like getting certain perfected gear and farming mythicals and picking up 50,000 mushrooms to get a lead and then having to go farm a world boss, for the next 2 hours. Or, for the love of God, having to open a lockbox in a specific zone. Ooh, this was a happier time. The nice thing, though, is that Bloodspawn still remains as one of the best in slot monster sets in the game. And it's an easy pickup if you're looking to get an easy monster set for either PvP or even PvE content. Bloodspawn has a lot of utilization. I suggest that everyone uses this monster set if they don't have one, because the helmet is so easy to get, and now the shoulders are going to be easy for you to get too, because you could just chuck a little bit of money at it, and boom, you've got it. You don't even got to waste your keys on it. Another really good set for you guys to consider getting is Mighty Chuden from the Runes of Mazatoon. One of the easiest places to get major resolve. I generally suggest that people who are getting into PvP but don't have access to things like the Gaze of Sithis and want a little bit more oomph to their their DPS, and still need to have a little bit of bulk, this is where you're going to get that bulk from. Because when you wear sets like Mighty Chuden, you can focus on wearing 2 5-piece DPS sets, and then we're kind of hoping that your Mighty Chuden as well as your other buffs are going to keep you alive. Probably going to have to run a little bit of health enchants depending on where your health runs to. I always suggest at least 30,000 health for PvP. For PvE utilization, I don't believe that any major tank sets or tank builds utilize Mighty Chuden, just because of how many other good monster sets and mythicals there are out there. However, it's a great set to have as patch notes and things change, and as we go into new types of content like Endless Dungeons, this could be a set that gets recommended because of its ability to give you a lot of resistance, health, and armor, and its ability to easily be gained by people who are interested in it versus getting things like mythicals, which can be a little bit difficult sometimes. Sometimes you don't want to go pick up 50,000 berries. Sometimes you just want a good monster set, and this is that good monster set. It's not the best, but it's definitely, I would say, in the top 10 if somebody had to rank them, which is a good idea for a video. I should do that. Just rank every monster set. If I did rank all the monster sets in the game, would you guys think it'd be cooler to do them like in a tier list, or do you think like rating them like best to worst? I go back and forth actually as I think out loud as I record this live, like what's a better way to do that? Because on one hand, you could see all of the S class ones, A class, B class, C class, but at best to worst, I feel like is easier to follow. And then you kind of know like here's the top 5, here's the top 10. The only thing that sucks about that though is you have to weigh up like, well, if this is best in slot PvP, this is best in slot PvE. How do they weigh? So I think a tier list might be better, but let me know what you think in the comments below. And we are still doing our 3 giveaway drawings. All you have to do to enter is make sure that you stay subscribed. 40% of you lovely juvelies already are subscribed, which is actually a really good number. Don't let the other YouTubers fool you who are like, guys, only like 99% of you subscribe to the 1% of you hate me. No, it's actually a really good number, and I'm very thankful for all of you. Second thing is we just pull a random like. So all you have to do is like the videos, release in the month of the third when a random word will be flashed upon the screen throughout the month. Also note that this is not my Twilight Matriarch, so please don't be mad at me for sitting next to them. And I will make the word obvious as a reward to those of you who watch my videos as they come out, and as a final thank you for those of you who do. So thank you guys so much again for watching, and I'll catch you later. Bye, guys.
You better remember to like and subscribe to Jake Clips. Or you should. I might have to pluck your eyes if you don't. Or, better yet, I'll skip rope with your entrails. Do it now. Subscribe. Ta-ta. Off with you.
Thank you guys for a great week in ESO. We've been able to keep up the 1 video a day. We're going to keep trying to keep doing that. If you want to check out yesterday's video, we talked about a secret event tip that is basically good for every single event that comes out and utilizes time zone differences to make sure that you guys can get an extra reward drop for every single event that you participate in. So check out that video, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.